Hi, hello. I am Astrid. I am Wattle and Wool, and welcome. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. If you've just found me for the first time, hi. I'm Astrid. I've just had a haircut, and looking at myself on this camera looks so different. So that's my introduction for today. I've got so much to show you, so let's get into it. First up, just a quick what I'm wearing. This is the Descent. It's meant to be the cardigan by... I can't remember her name. I will put it all in here though. And this is using Neighborhood Fiber Company. It's their DK or worsted, and it is worsted, and it's superwash, and it's very, very warm. So I am quite cold in my house right now, so I'm trying to pile on layers at the moment. This is actually the steak. I am terrified of cutting my knitting, so I haven't yet done the steak. In addition, it's a bit big, like across this bit, and for a cardigan, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want. It feels a bit low my neck. I'd like it a bit more like that. So this was made a while ago. I haven't worn it in a while. I really like it. So I haven't steeked it and cut the button band and everything. I will at some point, I'm sure. But I also knit it before finding out that superwash is not good for steeking. So there's been a whole lot of hold-ups, and just the fear of cutting my knitting has really held me back. So that is the story of what I'm wearing right now. I have some finished projects. Nowhere near finished on the scarves for my best friend and her husband, which were meant to be a happy engagement present, and yeah, we'll get there. This light is shifting. I'm so sorry. But some of you might have seen it on Instagram. I am at wattle and .wool, because I tried to make wattle and wool, and then it kind of collapsed on me, and it was like, oh, this is already taken. I'm like, yeah, by me, but it wouldn't let me get it. So now it's wattle and .wool. That's okay. So I made a beanie for my boyfriend. This is his one. It is really, I think it's really pretty. It's a reversible, as in like there's no front or back, it just is, beanie, and this is the side of it. I actually love the side as well. I think it's so cool. So this was meant to be a I love you present, where he told me, and he made this beautiful poem for me, and he told me that he loved me a couple of months ago, and I wasn't ready to say it back. And it's funny because I thought I would have. Like, if you'd asked me, oh, if he said this to you, would you say it back? And I would be like, yeah, obviously I do. But then, yeah, it happened and I didn't. So shock all round, really. And then, yeah, it was a bit later. And then I was finally ready to say it. So I did. But I did it in a very chicken out kind of way. So I've wanted to make him a beanie for a while. He is one of those men who just is warm all the time, so he loses a lot of heat through his head. So there's it has to be cold for him to wear a beanie. But I know he likes my knitting, so I thought I would give it a go. So this is just some random sock yarn that I had lying around. I don't knit socks. If you're new, I don't do socks. Socks are not my friend. Socks are not my thing. I don't do socks. Might even be DK, but it's nice. But I was a bit worried it would be a bit too rough. So I added in one strand of my baby alpaca in the white that I used as the contrast colour for my Arciclis jumper, which is my first ever pattern. So I held these two together, did a quick little test up, and was like, yeah, I really like how this is working out. So I did you can see the edge of it isn't quite even here because I did a tubular cast on. This one was fine. It was super easy for me to do. Normally, because tubular cast on, you knit a couple of rows and then you start doing it in the round, so there's always a slight gap. That doesn't bother me at all. Doesn't bother him. I don't think he's even noticed it. And he watches these. So next time you look, babe, sorry, you got to go. But yeah, so a tubular cast on and then a 1x1 rib, and then it gets into the pattern. The pattern is so much fun. So it's a like a wide 6-stitch repeat cable across 16 stitches. So it's nice and wide and shallow. So it means that you very quickly see the benefit of your cable. And then these ones here are actually cabled stitches or twisted stitches as well. So these ones are cabling to the right. If you're seeing it this way, I'm pointing to the right. It might be the left on yours, but I think it's the right. And this one here is to the left, or my left. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't know directions. But yeah, so it's cabling off to the sides, twisting, and then on the edging, it's got a slip stitch detail in here. And then to close it off, it's along the edge. There's a either knit 3 together or slip 1, knit 2, slip it over, like a centered decrease. Centered decrease. So I love that technique. I think it just stands out so well. It does mean that for the last of each round, you do have to hold one stitch, and that becomes the first stitch of the next round. So it gets a little bit like, it's easy. It's really easy to do and really easy to explain, but writing it down for some reason, I was like, how do I explain that? So I think I've done an all right job. But this is his one. And it fits very warm and comfortably. We actually went to Rottnest and he wore this pretty much the whole trip. So I will be putting on Instagram, I'll be putting on some really cool pictures and stuff of our trip because it was super cute. So this is the one that I knit for him, intending it to be like a, I love you, here you are, I've worked really hard on this for you present. And instead it was, this is for you. And then he was like, oh, thanks, babe. And I gave him a book, which is actually here. Our first ever adventure that we went on together, we bought this book, which was a couple of hours inland down south. So it was like a really nice little getaway. We were very freshly dating. Very fresh. We still are fresh. But when we're even fresher dating than we are now, because we're only almost 8 months in. So... Yes, so we bought this journal because I love stationery and journals. Everything down there is mostly journals and stuff to write in. So we bought this book and it was meant to be like a journal of our adventure, and we just never wrote in it. And I'd said to him, I'm not going to say I love you until I'm certain that I do. So one of the things about me being certain was that I wanted to write down 100 reasons why. And when I had 100 reasons, then I could say it, and that's when I knew. So in this book, if you see my little handwriting, there's 100 reasons. And sometimes I steal it off him and add to it. So he was lovely and left this behind. Normally takes it up to work for with him. But he was really cute and left it behind so I could show you on the recording. But I won't tell you what's in it because... obviously. So I made this beanie for him, and then like 4 or 5 days later, the night before he flew back up, because he's FIFO, the night before he flew back up to work, I was like, oi, you know I love you, right? And he was like, yeah. Oh, good, done, sick. So a very Astrid way of telling my beautiful boyfriend that I love him, but I definitely do. And it's one of those things of like, in my family, once you say it a lot. Like me and my sisters were talking about this actually. If I walk into a room or out of a room, I'm like, love you. And they all like, love you. Like we're a very love you family. But it's kind of like you've got to work on getting the initial. So once you get the initial I love you, then it just doesn't stop coming. But it's hard work to get it to the first one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was his beanie. And then I loved it. So historically I have a thing where I don't like math. And I can't count. So I couldn't count what I'd done. I'd written something wrong and I knew I'd written something wrong. But I because I was writing it up as I went because I knew I wanted to release this as a pattern. It will be coming soon. So I'd been writing it and then, there was one line and I knew it was between about 3 or 4 rows and I was just like, what is going on and where has it happened? And bleh. So I made another one, and this one is for me. So this one is, oh my goodness, there's a story in this one as well. So I did a yarn swap with a lovely lady called Anna. She and I both have Knit Crate, and don't worry, I don't have any this time. She and I both have Knit Crate, and after me talking about it last time, she was like, hey, do you want to swap anything? Like, is there anything you would like to swap over? I was like, that's a brilliant idea. Yes, let's do that. So we sent each other some stuff, and some of the things that she liked, some of the things I liked, she only had one of, and so like everything that she liked of mine, I had two of. So she was like, well, what if I just send you this other thing of mohair as well, just to say thank you? And I was like, oh my goodness, like, it's beautiful. Yes, please. I'm not saying no to that at all. So that was when I was making this one. And then as soon as she showed me the mohair, I was like, hell yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. So I was hanging out for it to arrive. I actually went to Stitchcraft and Wizardry. It was over my school holidays, and so I had time to actually go down during the day. It was lovely. And so, so I went down and saw Anna and talked to her about it and got the base yarn, which is in my big pile of stuff that I bought, which I will talk to you about. Oh, can I find it? Yes. It is Bambini 4, so it's 100% Australian extra fine merino, 2.75 to 3.25 millimeters. So that's what, fingering? Yeah, fingering. So it's very fine. Oh, it's like next to skin soft. It's so lovely. I've no makeup on that. We're good. I absolutely love this one, and it was only a whole ball of this to make this. So really, really good amount. I cannot for the life of me tell you anything about what went into this, because this is really scrap yarn from scrap yarn from scrap yarn. I have no balls. I have no explanation. I think it's a sock yarn because it feels socky. Like it feels like there's nylon in there, but mate, it could be a cow and I've got no idea. I really don't. But I did make sure to write them down for this one. So this one came, and I wound up the ball of the mohair, and it's that beautiful purple and yellow. So it just floats so nicely. Can you see on the, like, look at that in the light. All that fuzz. It's so lovely. I absolutely love it. And I was overly ambitious, and I didn't think about thinking about how much you're going to need of it for a whole beanie. So I used 2 strands with 1 strand of this. Yes. Sorry, Mozzie has been annoying me, and I got it. So I used 2 strands of the mohair with 1 strand of this, which means this is the most fluffiest, softest. Oh, it's beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I used it. And then I got to here and went, oh, I've run out. Because, I did not think. I was just too excited to cast it on and didn't think enough about it. So I ended up having to go into my stash, and I've got all these balls of random like polyamide mohair, which is not actual mohair. It's like incredibly fine weight acrylic, really. And when I was in Latvia, I think I've said the story on here before, but when I was in Latvia in 2018, there was a couple of yarn stores like really close to each other. So I bought a couple of things in one, a couple of things in the other, and there was all these like cones, like actual big cones of stuff, like fabric and blah, 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 blah. And wool, and it was like thread almost, like it was like super light fingering. And there was a couple of things I really liked. So I got a couple of them, and it was this poor lady's first day on the job, and she was using an electric winder, which she's never used before. And the ball just went aggressively psycho, and it lost its plot, and it was like, I had to leave for about 20 minutes here to go see my family and make sure that there was something else going on with getting food, blah, 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 blah. Whole big story there. Come back in, and it looks like just this arachnid psycho spider has just eaten this poor woman, and there is thread everywhere, and she's like in tears, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you're doing this for me, and it's like I'll just roll it on my hand and I'll figure it out. So she ended up giving me quite a bit for free, saying that she's so sorry because it's tangled. And I'm like, no, I'm so sorry that I've made you do this on your very first day. So that was the long story of how I got to the top bit. So the top bit is still like not a mohair, but it's a soft floaty-ish yarn. It is not as soft as the bottom, but it's also on the top of my head and I can't feel it, so it doesn't bother me. Again, it's exactly the same design, and I counted it this time, so I know my numbers are correct because I double counted every single row because I was so frustrated. And it turns out I just wrote K2 instead of K2 together. Genius. So, yeah, this is, it stands out a little bit more, I think, because of the lightness of the fabric, whereas this one is a lot heavier, like a lot more solid, sturdier. But it's the same needles and the same stitch count, and it fits perfectly. His is slightly bigger, only just though. So I think it fits pretty much perfectly. I'm going to write it up and suggest that people only use one strand of mohair instead of two, like I did. So the photos are going to be a weird two-toned beanie, but to be honest, I love it, and it works. Ooh, where are we? There we go. It works really well for me. I actually find that from a distance it looks grey, and I love grey, so that it just, it's perfect for me. I'm so happy with it. I got my hair cut last Friday, so not Friday just gone, but Friday before, and it like covers up to just where my hair is, and so it just fits perfectly. In Rottnest I was rocking it and it was super comfy. Loved it, absolutely loved it. For those of you who are not Australian or not in Western Australia and don't know about Rottnest is a small island off the coast of Fremantle, which is a port city in Perth. In other words, it's where all the ships go. And it's a really quaint little cute town city thing. It's not like people live there, but I would never. It's very tourist attraction. There's not really a lot to do except for tourist stuff. So like there's hotels. So people who live there are like the hotel workers or the bartenders, stuff like that. It is a half an hour-ish ferry to be able to get across. And for those of you who don't have motion sickness, I am so jealous because I do. And I'm not okay with how my body felt after that trip at all. The trip back was calmer winds, but I think worse just because I knew what was coming. So I think my stomach was like, let's just start rebelling now. And it wasn't fun. But pretty place. And it's got these things called Quokkas. So Quokkas are like a mini kangaroo or wallaby, like in that family. When they stand on their hind legs, they probably come up to about my knee. And they're like, reach up. I've got some really cute photos. I will definitely put some up. But yeah, I don't love them. So Quokkas, English and history now. So when Australia was first discovered, it was discovered by many other people before the British. The British were simply the first ones to colonise it. So the Dutch had actually mapped out a lot of Western Australia. Western Australia has a lot of rocks underwater, and so there's heaps of like random boat sites, like crashes, sunken boats, all around the coast because it's so dangerous and difficult to navigate. And so they found this little island called Rottnest, and it's actually called Rat's Nest. That's the original name, because they thought these quokkas were giant rats. And the Dutch were like, no, we're out. Like, we don't like this. So when the British came, they just kind of kept the name. To be fair, Western Australia was called New Holland for a fair amount of time until it was colonised. So there's lots of random Dutch history and random names of some places that are Dutch origin, which makes no sense in all of Australia, but makes a lot of sense in the history of Western Australia, which I find really cool. So these quokkas are native animals. Like I said, they're related to kangaroos and wallabies and stuff like that. They're pests. They're absolute pests. They're just like scavengers. They're like seagulls, but slightly cuter. They have like if you've ever seen a kangaroo paw, they've got like a long middle toe, and they've got claws. And they hurt when they scratch you. They don't try and scratch you, but they can. They can also bite if they're feeling threatened or cornered. They're cute, but they also have fleas and ticks, and apparently they carry salmonella. And I don't like salmonella. That's not a good thing that I want to have. Also, the oils from human skin is really bad for them. And so it can actually create problems for them. So we're all told not to touch them. It's a big tourism thing to take photos with them and to have like the Quokkas selfie. They're really cute. Oh, I've got a couple. I'll show you them. But I might even see if I can... I don't know how to edit these video things, but I'll see if I can put some pictures up. We'll see. So we've got, like, it's a big tourism thing to have all these Quokka selfies, but also don't touch them, which is really hard. To get close enough to have a selfie, but not touching it. So I went there with my beautiful boyfriend, Alec, and then my best friend, Sarah, and her husband, Kieran. And it was just wonderful. Like, I had such a good time. And I was terrified of these things. I don't like them. They just ick me. They ick me so much. And so there was one point when it like climbed on me during dinner, and I kicked my leg out, trying not to kick it. Like, I just like wanted to move my leg away from my body to be like, go away. And it was like hanging onto my leg, and I was like screaming and almost crying. And it was like at dinner. It was very dramatic. I'm fine. I'm safe. I don't have ticks or fleas or salmonella, which is a positive. But yeah, there was a lot of adventure. So that's the story of these. So, the question I have for you is, what the heck do I call this? I have no idea. So I was thinking antler, because these look like antlers to me. But there's other, as was pointed out to me on Instagram when I asked this, there was heaps and heaps and heaps of other patterns that also have this name antler and antler. I feel like I'm not pronouncing that. And so I don't want, there's also like the really famous Tin Can Knits antler beanie, which is very similar. Not intentionally, I actually saw it after I'd made this, but it's a creative process, I guess. And so, yeah, I definitely don't want it to get confused. So then my friend Anna of Stitchcraft and Wizardry suggested Patronus, because it looks like a stag, like the Patronus kind of thing. And I like that. But I think the whole point of a Patronus is that it's individual to you, which I guess you can make your beanie individual to you, but then they're all got stags, so I don't know. Although my Patronus is actually a stag, I found out. But yeah, I don't know. I was even thinking of calling it Rot Nest, which, just because of the trip that we went and the experience that we had. So I don't know. Tell me what you think, because I truly have no idea what I'm going to call it. Okay, so those are my two finished objects. They honestly took me, now I am not a fast knitter at all, but they took me about 2 days. So I'm pretty impressed with that, to get these done very quickly. The next few things I've been working on, so I'm still working on, working on sleeping apparently. I'm still working on these scarves. They won't be done for a while, but when they are, I'll show you. They'll take a while. I didn't finish off Beth's top either. Again, that'll take a while, and I'll get to it when I can. I'm not really pushing my brain too hard right now. Like in the context of life and things, there's been a lot of uncomfortable health things going on. I think I talked a bit about this last time. So yeah, there's been a lot of health stuff happening. There's also been a lot of mental health stuff happening, and it's been a bit rough, to be perfectly honest. So I'm trying to focus on making projects that I love and that I want to do, and that are relaxing, even if they're taxing in my brain. Like, this was a lot of counting, but because it was to show Alec that I loved him, like it didn't feel hard at all. So I'm I think there's a lot of lace in the Sarah's scarf, and I'm just, at the moment, my brain isn't in a place for lace. So I'll come back to it when I'm ready, but right now I'm not yet. Okay, so the things that I am working on is this amazing, amazing shawl, if I do say so myself, because it's my design. But it is with the yarn base that I cannot name because I know Hannah watches these and I don't want to tell her what it is yet because it's just so luxurious that it's such a cool surprise. But I've only got this much left. A lot of that was actually frogged and rewound because I did a big bit of it and then I didn't like it. So I'm in the kind of towards the final bit. That's the only amount that I've got left. That's it. Once I'm done with that, I'm done. So it starts off with a little garter tab and then it breaks into sections with just easy yarn over increases and a faux what do you call it? I-cord edging. So it's just like a slip one, knit two, yarn over and then continue. It's got this really cool birch lace, which I absolutely adore. This is so meditative and you don't need to think about it. And the way that the pattern's written, you start with one and then you do 3 repeats of that and then you just add 2 on each side. Do 3 repeats, add 2 more. It flows so simply, which is exactly where my brain's been at. I also know that the point of this, that I'm knitting it, like I'm designing it to give to Hannah because I love Hannah and that's kind of the thing. And I know that she's got a lot going on in her life as well. And some of it I absolutely adore. Like, I'm sure she won't mind me saying she's just gotten a new puppy and I am living for these updates. Every now and again, she sends me on Snapchat little videos of her puppy. Oh my God, it is the cutest. So, but I'm sure many of you will know that a brand new puppy or a pet, plus full-time work, plus life, plus everything else that she's got going on, doesn't leave a lot of room for like wholesome crafting. So I wanted this to be really simple and repetitive and almost meditative, that you can pick it up, put it down and always know where you are. So it's got this really pretty birch lace and they kind of just go out. And then this bit in here, it starts getting to German short rows. I love German short rows. They're so much fun. So this is the center of this particular section. And if I can show you, I don't want to pull the stitches out. So the German short rows continue, as you can see them just like bobbling along in here. But the lace reaches up as well. So instead of it being a 3 and then stop, it actually turns into, I think it's a 2 and then it stops. And it just makes me so happy. Like I knit all of the short rows and it was just flat. Like it was just stockinette and I didn't like it. I was like, no, this isn't pretty enough. It's not right. So I undid it all and I am about halfway through the last German short row section. I've actually written in some tips in what I'm doing in the pattern, but just to tell you as well, this German short row, so I knit it up to, I do the short row 3 stitches before the last turn. So in here, if you probably can't see, but that's okay. I've got it there. That's my German short row right there. So then you go 1, 2, 3, and then the next one's right there. So what I do to remember, the last one's just been here. So I've gone 1, 2, 3, and then I put a stitch marker in. So that stitch marker tells me that this is the last stitch I have to get up to. And then I knit the last stitch or purl the last stitch, take out the stitch marker, turn my work, go for 3, and then put it back in. And then that's the next one I've got to get up to. It makes it so much easier. Instead of having to count and then being unsure, and is that a 2, is that a 1, did I slip, did I what, I don't know. It just makes it so easy. So that is my big top tip for German short rows, especially something like this where you're going in over a space. I think it really works. And then my other top tip, because I have already told you that I struggle counting and now I'm learning how to again, I put little removable stitch markers in. There we go. So every 20 stitches is a little stitch marker. And then because that yarn over changes it, I do it on every knit. So on every knit row, I count to 20 and then I just purl back. I actually hate counting while purling. Even though knitting is actually the pattern, I find it easier to count while knitting than I do while purling. Don't know why. And then that way I can always keep count of how many stitches I've got. Because when I try and math it, it doesn't work. For example, I wrote that birch lace section without really counting every row, because I was just like, yeah, whatever, I can count, it'll be fine. And then I wrote down, I'm so glad I did, because I wrote down my calculations of how I counted everything and got to 451 stitches. No, my friend, it is actually 367. Now, 451 and 367 are a little bit different. So when I undid everything and then was like, you know what, I'm putting them in every 20, I don't care. Like, I'm done with my brain trying to pretend to be helpful, and when it's not, I'm going to make myself be helpful. So I did it every 20, and yes, 367 stitches at that peak point of where I'm up to so far. Because I counted them again after the German short rows and was like, how on earth? Because German short rows don't change the count. It changes the shape. It shouldn't change the count ever. So how did I go from 451 down to 367? Like, that makes no sense. Yeah, no, I can't count. So that's been a journey and an adventure, but I'm loving this. It is so warm. Alec has already asked me if we could turn this into a pillow, which I don't think would be comfortable at all, but he seems to want this as a pillow. So that's his new thing. But it is absolutely gorgeous and warm. I love the color. I was a bit unsure about it for a while. And I wasn't sure whether to do a stripe, because there's 2 of the pink, which is like this mauvey color, and then 2 of the grey. And that's what Hannah's going to get. So they're from Anna, and Hannah's going to get 2 of the grey, and they're beautiful. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do 1 of each, but I thought a full color one would be nicer. And the grey is very Hannah. And I asked her as well, I was like, do you like this one or this one? She said the grey. So she gets the grey. And I love the pink. It's not something that I would gravitate to myself, but yeah, I'm a fan. So that's that one. And then speaking of Hannah and the beautiful things that she does for me, a while ago, she sent me this beautiful little project bag, and she sent me some yarn. So this is the Spirally pattern by Pickles, which is a Norwegian brand or company. And this is I can't remember I've got it somewhere. It is the Tuk Merino, 100% Merino from Peru. I'm guessing that's what it means, because I don't speak Norwegian. And it doesn't say what color. It's RJ7579. But it is so beautiful. It's actually a little bit pink on the screen. It's more of a purple. Maybe like that is a bit more accurate, like down here. So this is my relaxation knitting, when I don't have to think, I don't want to have to do anything, and I can just knit and not worry. So this is where I'm up to, and it's such a beautiful pattern. I absolutely adore it. So it's a 5.1 inch ribbing, which is at the base, and then it's going to be 10.2 inches of this body section, and it's an easy repeat. It's so easy to remember. I just go, and then they have you put in a stitch marker that moves over a beginning of the round, but I don't know if I need to keep the original beginning of the round, so I've kept it in there just in case. The pattern is clearly, oh, it's my cat. The pattern is clearly written in Norwegian and then translated to English, which means that every now and again there's a few small moments where I'm like, what do you mean? Do you want me to do this or this? But the instructions are relatively clear, and the pictures are great. So if I'm ever stuck, I just look at the pictures and it's pretty easy. But this has been my easy knitting. This has been my when something else is in timeout knitting. This has been my I want to see quick progress knitting, because it doesn't take much at all and then you get so much done. So I am absolutely loving this. There's just so much joy in it. It really has been absolutely wonderful. So thank you again, Hannah. I'm going to keep thanking you every time I show you, because it's just so beautiful. So this is my current works in progress that I've been working on. I have one more completely not knitting related finished object, which is really cool. So before I went to school, I'm a high school teacher, just to put it in context. Before I went to school this term, I was really nervous. They have changed around a lot of the systems and a lot of the classes changed. And I wasn't happy with the changes. I've got a lot of beautiful students that I really loved and I feel like I bonded with quite strongly. And then they moved out of my class. And I'm a very empathetic, very people person. So I'm very connected and very almost motherly in some ways. And yeah, like the amount of students who call me mum by accident is ridiculous. I always get them getting really confused that I am A, older than 20 and B, younger than their mum. Somehow this is a shock. So I must be very youngly mothering. I don't understand. But yeah, so it was really hard to come back to school. I was really nervous and I've never been like this. I've never been the kind of person, like you get students who are school refusers who are like, no, I'm too nervous to come to school. I've never been like that as a student or as a teacher. And this is the first time that I was really experiencing it. As I said before, I do have some fairly strong, significant mental health concerns, mostly just anxiety. But yeah, there's been a lot of self-realization, I guess. Things that I know that I need to do to be able to get better, that I, at the current place where I'm at, in life, in work, in whatever, just means that I don't have the time, the ability, the means, whatever. I will, please. I love, just to jump in here, I love that people care about me so much. I don't need DMs telling me I need to go get help. I am. I really am. But there's a lot going on, a lot more behind the scenes, as there always is. You know, Instagram, YouTube only shows you 10% of the highlight reel, and there's 90% behind the scenes that comes on. So it makes it hard. So yeah, there is stuff going on. There is a lot of stuff that I'm doing. My doctor is the most incredible person I could ask for. My friends, oh my goodness, my support network are just the best. My boyfriend is incredible. My mum is amazing. So everything that I need and everyone that I need is around me and supporting me and loving on me. And I am so connected. My church as well. They're incredible. So there's everything that I've got. It's just for the little bit, my mental health means that I need to take some nice medication. And so yeah, there's been a lot going on. So with all of that that's happened, there was a lot of nerves and lots of, I guess for the first time, I felt these like strong fears of going back to work. And so I'm saying this because of what ended up happening, what I did, what my project was. But to finish off that bit of the story, I came into work and the children were beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Like, what the heck? I was so scared for no good reason because they were absolutely gorgeous, absolutely wonderful. And there's nothing I can't handle. So, and then I ended up having, like my performance management, and that went really well. So it's just like I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right thing. I just had a big freak out, and I do think that some of it was biochemistry related because my brain is fun. So there was a whole lot of that. But now I've got like even some of my absolute joys from last year. I teach them again this year. And I've just got such beautiful students this year, and last year. And the year before that. People. So what I did, sorry for the rant about work, but what I did was I painted this really random thing. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing and I like it. I don't even know which way it goes. It could go this way. I don't know. So it's one of those resin pour things, which are all over TikTok, all over the internet. I'm sure you've seen them before in like Instagram Reels or whatever. But you get the canvas, and then you get paint in a cup or like a thing, and then you put it like that, and then you flip it over, and then you lift up the cup, and it all like runs out, and then you got to swiggle the canvas around to be able to try and get it into the right, like into the corners and stuff. So I chose a slightly too big canvas with not enough paint. So then I realized it still feels like tacky. Like it's not wet. It just feels that way. So I ended up getting the last little bits because I didn't pour all the paint in. I got the last little bits. I was like, and squirted them up onto the corners and the sides. So the sides, if you can see, look speckly, which is so cool. And then the middle of it is like really solid. I just love that movement in there. If you can see that movement, so cool. And then again, the bottoms are like awesomely speckly. So yeah, so I did this really randomly in my living room. In my living room with newspaper on the floor. Just was like, you know what? I'm really not ready to go back to work. I'm going to make something pretty. And all I had was pink paint and I made something pretty. So then I painted the edges of it in like a metallic gold. If you can, I know the reflection's there, but if you can see there's all the metallic gold. And then I was like, you know what? There's random bits in here that I'd like to paint as well. So I just kind of squiggled paint places. So it kind of reminds me of like a metallic geode kind of thing. Like I said, I'm probably sure it's going to be this way. I actually have no idea. I don't think there is a way that they're meant to go, but it makes me really happy. And I don't think this is ever going to be something that I do a lot of, but it was such a fun experiment. And I really enjoy what I've done. So that was my other finished project. All right, stash. So much stash. Okay, I went to Stitchcraft and Wizardry, and then I bought some other stuff. So, I think I might have said this about last time. There was Anna's husband, Mike, is also incredibly talented in his own way. And he was hosting a knit night, but for knights, and like KNIGHT, like, you know, Knights of the Round Table. And I totally misread the entire caption. I was like, I'm going to come. And they're like, are you a man? Because it's literally a knit night for men. And I'm like, I'll come anyway. I didn't. So I'm not, I didn't crush the men's knit night. But in celebration of this, Mike dyed up some incredible yarn. And I just love it. So I knew I wanted some. I'm so sorry for the rustling. I haven't unboxed it properly yet. And then my cat's going to go psycho for the wrapping. Ooh, yep, no, he's already in it. So, see if he wants the ball. Oh, he's got his stalking face on. So I bought 4 of these because I knew that I would want some, and then I didn't know if Alec would or not. So I texted him. I was like, hey babe, do you like these? And he was like, oh yeah, I do. So I was like, sick. So I got 4. I might end up putting some aside for a giveaway. I will talk about that hopefully at the end if I remember. Otherwise I'll just drop it in now and then never mention it again. So this is called Kryptonian Skyline on the House of Liberty base of 85% superwash extra fine merino, 15% nylon. It is 4-ply, 400 meters, over 100 grams. It's the Chivalry Yarns collection for the chivalrous knights, the men who can knit. And it is just so pretty. I absolutely love it. It's tonally and speckled and blue and green and I love it. So it makes me very, very, very happy. No idea what I'm going to make with it. I just knew that I didn't want to not have it. Which I feel like it's a very valid reason of collecting stuff. So I love the way that Anna sends all of her gifts. She puts in a little card. This one says, hello, I'm the happiness fairy. I need more naps. Hello, I'm the happiness fairy. I sprinkled happy dust on you. Now smile, damn it, this stuff's expensive, which I love. On the back of it, she's written, sending you a fluffy hug. Love, Anna. And then there's a Yarnia card to kind of talk about what's on it, about her. I can't English today. There's the Yarnia card to talk about her yarn store, and then there's all the handles of where to find her. And then she sends out these little Haribo bears, which is super cute. And Alec loves these, so I always give them to Alec. You're right there, cat? He's now in the bag. You're right. So that was my first Stash acquisition. He actually sold out of these. Mike ended up selling out of all of these, and then I had texted and been like, oh my God, if I don't have them, I think I will die. Which is slightly melodramatic, but I really don't care because I feel like it's accurate because, oh my God, they're so pretty. And he was like, sure, how many do you want? And I was like, oh, 4, please. So when he came back down, he dyed up a whole other batch, and then there's others as well that he dyed, but I just loved these beautiful ones. And like, there's like bits of purple and like the greeny yellow and like that. Oh, just so nice. So yeah, I kind of got them specially dyed for me. To be fair, he did it in a whole batch, but I'm counting it as for me. Then I got this one here is Don't You Push Me on our Madagascar Jam base of 100% superwash extra fine merino, fingering weight, 400 meters for 100 grams. And it's that zebra one. I just think this is so much fun. Again, no idea what I'm going to make with it, but I couldn't not have it. I also can't go to Yarnia and not buy some of her hand-dyed stuff because her hand-dyed stuff is just so incredible. So this was the latest edition, but like, look at how vibrant that pink is. It's so cool. So yeah, I love it. I'll talk about that in a second. What else did I get? Oh, okay. So my beautiful boyfriend, Alec, I always say that, but he really is. Man, he's an enabler. He is the worst enabler, and I kind of don't care because it's all about yarn. And if I really didn't want to be enabled, I wouldn't ask him because he's so supportive. He would just say yes. But I went there and I was thinking of what we're going to do. So Alec and I are going, this is one of the reasons I made the beanies. We're going to Tasmania in, I counted it, 54 days. 54 days, we are going to Tasmania for a 2-week trip where we're renting out a little car, RV thingy, and we're just going to drive around, and I can't wait. If anyone's got top tips for Tasmania, if you've been there, please tell me. I am planning it at the moment, and oh my goodness, I'm just so excited. So I was thinking I need easy, fun projects that I can do while I'm sitting in the car for hours pretending to navigate. I'm terrible at navigating. He will be doing it. Listening to random music, talking absolute crap, eating a lot of snacks, and going for hikes. Like, I'm so excited. I actually bought, it's not here yet, but I can't wait for it to be. I bought this like fanny pack thing, which is out of like proper leather. It's from Ukraine or Uzbekistan. It's something with a U. I think it was Ukraine. And it's handmade leather. It was 20% off, and then it was free shipping on Etsy, which, oh my goodness, it was so, so good. So I couldn't figure out between this amazing like forest green color or a calfskin kind of more neutral beigey kind of, not beige, like light brown. And so I was like texting a couple of friends. I was like, what should I get? And they were all like, look, the green's you, but the brown will go with more things. I was like, that's a good point. So I got the brown. And it's beautiful. I can't wait for it to come because I can't wait to try it. But I'm basically planning on taking my little knitting and putting it in a little pouch and then slinging it over this way and going for walks and having easy to access knitting, because why waste time? Why not knit? So I was thinking I need to have something that's going to be light and not necessarily durable. Like, I don't plan on doing anything hectic with the yarn, but something that's going to be light that I can pack in my bag, that's not going to take up too much room, that won't get damaged, that I can just take with me, and that's an easy project. So I wanted to make a couple of summer singlet style, like tanks, I guess. So I've got this papyrus by Fibra Natura. It is 78% cotton and 22% silk. I know that Anna has actually worked with this one before, and I loved the project that she made with it. Throwing it around. So I definitely know that this is going to be a yarn that I like, and it feels next to skin soft. I've never made anything out of black, true black. So this will be interesting. It'll be a whole thing out of black, but I have a couple of ideas about what I want to do. So I'm interested to see how my brain will translate with this yarn. And if you can see, can you see? Yeah, it's kind of like a bit textured. The yarn is not super smooth. It feels smooth, like it's not rough or anything like that. It's just textured. So I'm really interested to see how this knits up and what it does. So that is my first little collection, and I'm really excited about it. Then I got Then I wasn't sure what else to get. So in the school holidays, Anna and our friend Ilsa and I, we became friends at Anna's store opening in Yarnia. The first store opening, so she's now in her second location, as in she moved from one to the next. So in the initial opening, I went to the opening of it, and I bumped into this woman wearing the most incredible hand knit yoke sweater, and I was like, wow, I love what you are wearing. And she was like, thank you. And we started talking and just became really good friends. So now Ilsa and I are good mates, and Anna and I are good mates, and Ilsa and Anna are good mates, and we all catch up, and it's just beautiful. So Anna, we all went up to Ilsa's for a crafternoon brunch thing, and Anna brought over some things that Ilsa had ordered, because personalized delivery is just a perk of being a friend. And she gives her this amazing yarn, and was like feel this, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. It is just so soft. And so I knew I was going to go to Anna's to Yarnia on the Monday. So I held it in my head and was thinking, I was like, you know what, I can go buy some of that. So I did, and I didn't know what to buy, so I bought a lot of it. So this one here is the Trubu. It's 100% rayon from bamboo. It is a Lion brand yarn. It is 100 grams for 220 meters, or 3.5 OZ. Is that pounds? I think so. And 241 yards. So if you're American and you can read that, yay, I can't. So this is, it's absolutely beautiful. It feels so good. It feels so good. She only had one of this, and I knew I was definitely getting this one. And then I got 4 of the grey and 3 of the pink. No, peach, sorry. It's like does it say what colour it is? No, it just says, salmon. 3 of the salmon. But I think I've ordered more of the salmon, and I've definitely ordered more of the green. So when they come in, I'll be running and collecting them and picking them up. Again, this is I plan to take to Tasmania with me. I've got plans for a really cute couple of tanks. I don't know how they're going to work out, but that's the fun, isn't it? You just give it a go. So yes, these are my new little loves and collections that I need to get things off the needles so I can put these onto the needles. But I'm excited. Then I saw, again, like I said before, I can never go to Anna's and not buy hand-dyed yarn, ever. I saw these, and they are just so cute. So this is the Men in Tights collection, which I'm sure is from a reference that I have no idea about, but it's cool. And it says, oh, if 'twere you, 'twould be terrific. Terrific, yeah. I'm guessing that's like a Tweety bird thing. That's what it sounds like to me. Like I told, putty tat. If 'twere you, 'twould be terrific. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm probably so far off. Anna, I'm so sorry. I think I should check these things with you before rambling. But the point is, it's pretty. And it's a bit too blown out a little bit in these colours on the screen, but can I find? Again, I'm trying to block out the sun. I should learn. I should really learn. But they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. This is on the Mermaid's Tail base of 70% extra fine merino, 10% silk, 20% nylon. It is a DK weight, 200 meters per 100 grams. So this is the same as what I made this one out of, which is my Zintar's top, which still needs to have that final end woven in and be graded. But this is on the Ginny's Dance colorway by Anna, and again in the same base. It is DK, so it knits up so quickly. It is so soft. It's so durable. It is absolutely incredible, and I love it. So this is definitely something that I love the base. So I know that if I love the colors of this, I'm so sorry, I'm kicking you around. I know that if I love the base, the colors of this, it's just going to be beautiful. I don't know yet whether this is going to maybe make its way into a giveaway as well. I need to talk about the giveaway. But it might. So I don't know. I've got to figure out if I think I need to figure out what project to do with this. If I'm going to do an actual top, I need more. Therefore, I can put these two in the giveaway and then I can buy more and then I could have more. Also, I know Anna watches this, and she will get really snappy at me for saying it. I love you, Anna. But she doesn't like it when I buy things for giveaway because she wants to give them away herself. But I think that she's making a business and she needs to also earn money, and it's my giveaway, so I get to pay for it. Weird logic, but that's where I'm at. I know she'll tell me off. But yes, so this is everything that I've bought from Anna, and then because I'm knitting this one here, the shawl, and it's a very it's a woolly wool. Apparently it's meant to be like a fingering weight, which thoroughly confuses me because it is not. Like I'm knitting it on 4.5 millimeter needles and it is nowhere near fingering weight. But it says that it is, so that's what the tag says, so I'll believe it. But it is very woolly, like it's very thick wool. And so, yeah, so she was like, oh, I know that you like that kind of woolly feeling. And I was like, yeah, I do. Like for outer stuff that's not necessarily going to be against my skin, but for outer things, yeah, I really do actually quite like it. And she was like, well, why don't you have this? She was like, it's a random thing that I'll never use. And I was like, cool. So this is Jacob British wool. And it is a natural blend, it looks like. Let me read you the back because it made me laugh. The UK has over 60 breeds of sheep, more than any other country in the world. British wool is a natural fibre which is annually replenished, is both durable and luxurious, and can be used in a wide range of products. Jacob wool enjoys a favoured position on country estates across the UK and is highly valued by the textile industry for undyed yarns. So it's like a brownish kind of grey colour, so it's definitely undyed. It made me laugh. Certification number, so it's definitely like a proper certified thing. Contains not less than 50% British wool. Well, what else is in it? Like, it's just, I can just imagine some like Brit being like, well, it's not less than 50%, obviously. Like it just, have my two. Not less than 50% wool. I'm mocking the British. I'm so sorry. I'm half British, so it just makes me laugh that this is the way that they write it. It is not next to skin soft. It is not at all. But I think it would be really fun to knit with, even like it's like part of a vest or something. I've got a couple of other bits of like rougher spun wool that I do have plans for, so this might work its way into those. But yeah, thank you, Anna, for the free skein of yarn. I think it's really fun. Okay, what else is that. What else is in here? Anything? Oh yeah, sorry. More Haribo little bears. So Alec will get to eat them once I've thrown them around. And then these amazing stitch marker ones. These are the ones, they're rose gold. And I've heard them called the light bulb ones, or you call them gourd in America? Where's you have a shot like that? Yeah, like the gourd. I would say pumpkin. I would say light bulb. It's a light bulb shape. because I know that Americans have different words for vegetables than Australians do. So these are what is helping me keep count because, oh my God, and they are amazing. And I'm so glad I bought 2 lots of these because the other one is already, I've lost like half of them because I don't know where they go. But they're like the other, you know, the other sock in the washing machine. These are the eternal other sock. They just disappear into random places. And then 3 years later, you move your house and there's like a congregation of them underneath the couch. And yeah, you just find them then. But for now, I have 2 boxes of these. Okay, the other things that I have done. So there's 2 more things to show you. One of them will be involved in the cast on, which I'll talk about in a second. First, this is really fun. So I bought this last year. This was my big learn how to count money in exchange rate mistake, where I bought all the stuff from Plies and Hellhounds, who was Once Upon a Corgi. She's changed her name. And I love her aesthetic. It's very dark and moody, which isn't necessarily me at all, but I really enjoy it. And she loves my favorite author, and so she dyed up a whole lot of stuff kind of using the characters from my favorite author's series, and it's just beautiful. I've got a couple of things from her, but this was one of them. So this is like a... Hold up, let me get the actual bases. Here we go. So this is the base. It is called Hello Witchling by Marie Cutie, which is base, which is 75% superwash Corriedale and 25% nylon, 100 grams for 443 yards. So it's kind of, yeah, like dark and moody and opinionated, I would say. But it just looks so lovely. And then I also bought this incredible mohair, which I am obsessed with. It is called Heap Herd on Fig Lace, which is 70% kid mohair and 30% silk lace weight, 50 grams for 460 yards. So after winding up this, which takes a full amount of this, I have this much left of the mohair. So I absolutely love it. I really wanted actually to make a jumper out of it, but I don't think I'm going to have enough to make a jumper unless I lose like a good third of my body mass, which is like an arm, and I'm just not doing that. So I will think about what else to make with it, but it is just beautiful and I absolutely adore it. It's that dark and moody vibe. So again, this was a maybe I'll take it to Tasmania project. But I've only got, I think, 2 more of these. So this is this one and another one. And that is 300 grams, which just isn't enough, or 400 meters. So that's 1,200 meters. It's just not enough for an actual jumper for me. Maybe it'll be like a short top, like a crop top. But I don't know if I want a crop top out of this dark and moody because it really should be jumper worthy. I don't know. There's a lot going on there. So, there's a lot in my brain of thinking about it, but I love it so much and it is just so beautiful. So this is what I've recently not bought, but recently wound up, caked up, hoping to use at some point. Also, I just really wanted to see what it looked like together. Okay, that is that. The last thing that I have bought is a bit sad, but it goes into a happy thing. So, well, happier than sad than happy? Yeah. I have been seeing some friends knit with, I've been seeing some friends knit with Bendigo yarns before, from Bendigo Woolen Mills, and I've heard really good things about them, and I've never tried them myself. So I thought, hey, let's just give it a go, see what happens. So I went online and I bought 3 skeins. I really want to knit Alec a cardigan style throwover piece. He loves knitwear and he's got a couple of pieces that he ready to wear that he wears a lot. So I thought I would make him something, and I sent him I wanted to make it out of tweed because it's that look that I think would just go really well. I sent it to him, the screenshot, and was like, hey, pick, a couple that you like. And he was like, I like all of them. You choose. And I'm like, oh, you're not helpful. So I chose a couple of them that I thought were masculine enough that he could probably get away with wearing. So there's this one here, which is shade 557. Doesn't tell me what color, but that's okay. So that's like a tealy. Oh, it doesn't show up properly. Come on. It's like a tealy blue. Very teal, I would say. So there's the first one. And then I'm throwing these around. The second one's a bit darker. This is more of a denim kind of color. So this is shade 59. Oh, hang on, they do have colors. Oh, genius. All right. This is vintage denim. So it's like, yeah, like a light, I would say teal, but vintage denim is what it's called. And then the darker one is called Dark Night, which is just cool. And this is more of like a navy denim, I would say. Yeah, there we go. The colors are a bit better right here, apparently. And then this one here is called Blue Haze. And this is more green than this one here. So it kind of goes in sort of that, like a dark teal. I still feel like teal is the right color. Maybe I'm using the color wrong, but I feel like it's right. So these are the three colors that I've got. I have a feeling he's going to like this top one or the middle one. I don't think he's going to like the bottom one very much. But okay, so this is what I bought. And seriously, they're super cheap. Like, they are not expensive at all for so much. There's so much in here. How much is there? There is this. So this is 75 wool, 15% nep fiber. Don't know what that is. 10% bamboo. Approximately 400 meters over 200 grams. So yeah, they're just like, it's DK. It's nice and is it DK? Yeah, 4mm needles, 22 stitches over 10. It's like DK-ish. But yeah, so it's beautiful. I can't wait to cast these on. So, in buying these, there is a craft along that has just started today. This is one of the reasons I wanted to record today. So it has just started today. It is by Mad About You. So mad.about.ewe. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's all about the noises today. So Mad About You on Instagram, and she also has a YouTube channel, which I will link to as well. She has decided to do a craft along where you have to pick a difficult for you technique. So I was thinking I would kind of join in, and I was thinking I would either make the rib jumper out of this, but like I said, I don't think there's enough, so that kind of spoiled that plan. Then I was thinking I would use the amazing Love to Lady Lansbury, which you can see right here. The Tweedy yarn that I bought from Anna from Stitchcrafted Wizardry last time I recorded. But I'm still trying to figure out how that's going to go, and I don't really feel like frogging, and it feels like a lot of math right now, and I just, like I said before, my brain's not really in it. So I thought I might do something like a swatch style design for something that I've got coming up later. So last year I designed a advent, there we go, an advent scarf. And it's huge. The thing is massive. And I love it. I wear it all the time. I wear it like doubled up. So it's got 24, 20 milligram, 20 gram minis. And they're all hand dyed by Anna. They were incredible. She said that it was a lot of hard work, and I fully believe that. I also think she should do it again because it was amazing. But yeah, so there was these really big scarf, and then I designed it and people knit along with it. It was really fun. A couple of people have finished, and it looks incredible. Then I thought, hey, it's so long, why not do it, like rewrite it, that I'm going to do it twice as wide and half as long. So it'll be more of like an actual scarf, like a shawl-y kind of scarf, instead of this giant, never-ending, huge thing. So I'm rewriting that at the moment. And then, so I was thinking, well, I've got a couple more advents coming. What am I going to do with them? And I've got the advents that are 24, I'm pretty sure. And I was thinking, I love the idea of a shawl to do with an advent. And most of the time dyers are going to put them together in a way that makes sense for the dyer. So like in a color order or something like that. So Anna's was a rainbow. The other one that I got was by Pliers and Hellhounds, and that was to do with the books for Sarah J Maas, which is my favorite author. And so it had stuff that started right at the beginning, and then it went all through the books with quotes right up to the end. So I ended up rearranging that to be in a rainbow because I like it more, but I love the way that it came up, and I love the progression that you could see in it. So I've got a couple of, I think one, maybe two, I can't remember. I've got some advents coming. And I'm super excited for them. And I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do? Because I want to actually use the yarn from an advent. What am I going to do in it that's going to really stand out and be cool? And I obviously love designing, kind of a thing for me now. What am I going to do that's going to really be able to use it all up and make it fun? And then I was thinking, why not brioche? So I haven't done brioche. I've done one project, which is how I learnt brioche, by designing one project, which is an interesting way to learn for the first time. So I was thinking of doing a triangular shawl of brioche increases. So the first, doing 2-color brioche, which I find easier to learn with. I haven't actually done single color yet. So getting the first 2 colors and then setting it up and doing like a certain amount and then changing to the next 2 colors and the next 2 colors. So it's like a big, like a 12 section but 24 color scrappy thing, and it would just be a big blankety style triangular shawl. And then a lot of the time you get patterns, advent calendars, and they come with a like an extra full skein size skein, like the 25th day one. And I'm pretty sure that's what I would have ordered because I do like those. So then they generally go with the other things. They try and tie them together. So if it works, then doing that as like the edging for it. And if it doesn't work, I'll figure something else out. But yeah, so that's what I was thinking. And I was not sure how to do it. And I needed to be able to swatch it. And I haven't done brioche in a while, since about 2 years ago. No, last year. Yeah, last year. But it's been over a year in time since I've done it. So I just really needed like a refresher. And then obviously I want to make something for Alec out of these yarns. So I thought, well, swatching with these is one way of doing it. But what about actually knitting something with these? Because that'll give me a good feel for the weight and the heft of the yarn, and it'll give me a good idea. Very sadly, someone who we are quite close to is unfortunately very, very ill, and life is not going, it'll be, we don't perceive it going for a long time, for much longer, you know what I mean? Which is very sad. So I was thinking, while this person is still around, why not knit my idea as a blanket and then give it to them? So it'll give me something to get an idea about this yarn with and this weight with. It'll be, it means that I can test out my pattern and see how it goes. It means that, because I mean, 2 of these are the same weight as what the shawl would be. So it gives me a really good way of understanding what it's going to turn into. And yeah, it'll be something beautiful that I can do. It can be like either a shawl or a blanket pattern, because a lot of shawls end up being blankets anyway. So I'm thinking of doing, like testing out my idea using these ones, because 2 of these are roughly going to be the same amount as the advent calendar. Most advent calendars are 24 of 20 gram minis, and just one of these is 200 grams. So 20 times 24 is 480, and 2 of these are going to be 400. So it'll be like 2 and a bit of this is going to be the size. So it means I can get an accurate idea of how big the shawl will be for my advent. It means that I can swatch with these and actually see how they feel knitting, because they always feel a little bit different. I can see if we like colors together or apart. I actually would like part of the cardigan to be brioche for him, because I think it's just going to sit really nicely. He's very broad-shouldered, so something that's going to be like snug but loose. And I feel like brioche is that perfect amount of stretch and flex. Yes, so this is going to be my cast on, and then once it's done, I'm going to gift it, and it'll be for hopefully the person that is in my life will be around for it. Otherwise, it'll be, I don't know what it'll be for, but that's the goal of this. And the colors are very muted. It is a male, so the colors are very muted, and I feel like it'll be beautiful. So that is my happy, then sad, then happy again cast on for the craft along hosted by Mad About You on Instagram, and again I will link to her YouTube. So this is a super long episode of everything that I've bought and a couple of things that I've made and random stories and painting. If you have stayed, I really hope you enjoy, and don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, tell me ideas. Oh, I should talk about the giveaway. I should do that. Okay, giveaway. I have 902, I think. I looked at it this morning. Instagram followers. So when I get to 1,000, I want to do a giveaway. And I've been slowly acquiring different stash things that I like, that I won't keep, but I will share with the world. So like I said, maybe 2 of these might work its way in. Maybe these 2 as well will work its way in. I've got just there is the Community Matters colorway by Kim Daisyan, which is beautiful, but it's like, I think I enjoyed the concept of it more than I enjoy it, so that'll go into it. So yeah, I'm kind of just adding things to go into a giveaway, and then when I hit 1,000, I will actually do it. So that will be coming. I was going to ask for something, but I totally don't remember what I was going to ask for. Anyway, that's the giveaway news. Not yet, not happening yet, but it will at some point. Feel free to join along for the craft along with Mad About You. If this is your first time, I hope you don't mind the ramble, and that you enjoyed it. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that kind of fun stuff, and comment, say hi. I will see you soon. Okay, bye.